This is News 4 New York.
At Grand Central Terminal on this Christmas Day, there were thoughts of the homeless and the forgotten, inspired by a woman who died there decades ago.
This little light of mine, this little light.
Those who gathered lit candles to remember Mama Doe, a homeless woman found dead on Christmas Day in 1985. Now named after Mama Doe, the Doe Fund's mission is to provide for the city's homeless, and organizers say veterans have a particular need right now for help.
Many of these men and women will be homeless when they come home to America, won't have a job and won't have an opportunity, as bad as that sounds, but we're here ready to help them.
The Doe Fund has been feeding the city's homeless and poor for 25 years.
This is Fox 5 News at 10.
On this Christmas Day, a special tribute to remember those who are homeless, including veterans returning from Iraq. Hundreds of candles were lit inside Grand Central Terminal in a ceremony held by the Doe Fund. It's named after a homeless woman known only as Mama Doe, who died in the terminal on Christmas Day 1985. The fund lends support to those without homes, and with the Iraq War over, it expects many veterans to now be needing help. The organization will offer them training so they can get full-time jobs and find housing.
The news is now. Now that the war in Iraq has come to an end, returning veterans who find themselves homeless are focusing on new challenges. Hillary Whittier has more.
This little light of mine.
Hundreds of people illuminated Grand Central Terminal this morning, lighting candles and filling the halls with music.
25th year that we've come here to remember Mama Doe.
Mama Doe was an elderly homeless woman who died in the station's waiting room on Christmas Day in 1985. Her death gave way to the Doe Fund, created by George McDonald for the men and women who die living on the streets of New York. This year, the gathering focused on Iraq soldiers coming home. Many service members leaving Iraq are able to come home and reunite with their families, but leaders at the Doe Foundation say some others do need help rejoining civilian life.
We know that in the future, after this 9-year war, that there are going to be, unfortunately, many veterans who are homeless, and we're ready, willing, and able to provide an opportunity for them as soon as they come home.
Terrence Coffey tells me he's come close to being homeless himself. After cleaning up his life and beginning work with the Doe Fund, he says it's important to remind people of some Iraq veterans falling into the next generation of homelessness.
We're going to have men who have served us, who we're going to walk by. Do they become the insignificant ones? Do they become, when we look at them, do we forget that those are the ones that we're walking around in this freedom, that they died for us, they put their lives on the line for us?
It's the service and strength of Iraq soldiers that Doe Fund members speak about. And as people reflected on lives lost to homelessness, they also stood for hope and fighting for a better future for those coming home from war. Hillary Whittier, Pix 11 News.